Forget massive trillion parameter giant. Massive AI suddenly looking very bloated. Everyone is talking about giant supercomputers in the cloud. But the real technological revolution is rapidly shrinking. Welcome to the era of small language models. Tech insiders simply call them SLMs. This is edge computing on absolute steroids. Tech giants spent billions building massive digital brains, but these massive brains are notorious slow. They constantly hallucinate answers. They cost a total fortune to operate daily. They require active and stable internet connections. Tech industry recently realized a harsh hardware truth. You simply do not need a massive supercomputer to write a business email. You do not need a trillion parameters to analyze a tiny Excel spreadsheet. You need ultimate precision. You need split-second speed. You need ironclad data privacy. That is exactly where small language models aggressively enter the arena. Small models strictly use fewer than 10 billion parameters. Recently, we saw powerful models like Microsoft Phi 3 drop. We saw Meta heavily stripped-down versions of Llama. These specific models are mathematically tiny, but they punch way above their weight class on complex benchmarks. They can run locally on your standard laptop. They can even run entirely on your smartphone silicon. No cloud connection is required at all. No massive data center processing latency, and absolutely zero data transmission privacy risk. Giant models are like massive sluggish cargo ships. Small language models are highly agile fighter jets. They are fundamentally changing how software developers build AI applications right now. The edge AI hardware revolution is officially here today. How do you physically cram superhuman intelligence into a tiny 3 GB file? The deep technical secret lies in extreme data curation. Giant models learn by blindly reading the entire open internet. They consume immense amounts of useless garbage data like toxic forum posts and spam. Small language models use a completely different and surgical training paradigm. Researchers specifically feed them specialized textbook-quality datasets. This is heavily curated synthetic training material generated by other models. It is exactly like sending the AI to a highly strict private Ivy League school. Instead of memorizing random chaotic internet threads, the model learns deep reasoning structures. Microsoft actively proved this with their famous textbook, Is All You Need research paper. By feeding a small model extremely high-quality logic puzzles, it became drastically smarter incredibly fast. It actively outperformed legacy models 50 times its actual digital size. This targeted training method requires massive computing power upfront during the creation phase, but the final resulting model is incredibly lightweight and agile. You can copy it onto a cheap consumer flash drive in mere seconds. You can load it directly into highly limited server memory effortlessly. Developers are also specifically using aggressive hardware quantization technique extensively. This compresses the necessary neural math into even smaller digital footprints. A highly optimized model running at 4-bit precision is a hardware masterpiece. It runs blazing fast even on outdated older silicon architecture. This completely shatters the expensive cloud GPU bottleneck entirely. Why does this localized hardware processing matter to you right now? Let us talk about ironclad enterprise security and privacy. Big multinational corporations are absolutely terrified of leaking sensitive internal data. They strictly refuse to send confidential financial reports to public cloud APIs. Small language models perfectly solve this massive corporate security headache immediately. A major bank can run a specialized proprietary model directly on its own secured internal servers. Highly sensitive proprietary data never leaves the tightly controlled corporate physical building. The digital security firewall remains completely uncompromised at all times. Next, consider the massive upcoming impact on mobile consumer hardware. Mobile tech manufacturers are deeply integrating tiny specialized models directly into mobile operating systems. Your daily smartphone can now summarize long, chaotic group text instantly offline. It can actively mute notifications based on deep contextual awareness alone. It does this all entirely on the powerful local silicon neural engine processor. If you completely lose cellular service underground, your local AI assistant still functions perfectly. This local hardware execution fundamentally unlocks true zero-latency voice interaction. Without waiting for a distant cloud server to respond, real-time audio translation becomes completely flawless. Autonomous fast robotics rely entirely on this immediate local processing speed. A rapidly moving drone cannot afford to wait seconds for a cloud network ping. It needs instant localized compute to avoid sudden physical structural collision. Edge computing finally puts the literal raw brain directly inside the moving machine. Let us carefully look at the dramatic economic shift happening globally. Running massive generic AI models costs modern businesses millions of dollars annually. Every single prompt API call chips away at corporate profit margins silently. All language models completely collapse this massive cost structure down to absolute zero. Once you download the open source weight, the inference is practically free forever. You are strictly paying only for the standard electricity running through your local silicon chips. This extreme cost reduction completely democratizes advanced artificial intelligence software development. Aggressive startup founders no longer need massive venture capital funding just to pay cloud server bills. A single independent developer can now orchestrate an entire swarm of specialized local AI agents. One specialized agent handles complex raw data extraction flawlessly. Another highly tuned local agent writes robust production Python code continuously. A third agent rigorously tests the entire output for critical syntax errors. All of these autonomous specialized agents operate locally on a single consumer desktop computer simultaneously. This is not hopeful science fiction scheduled for 10 years from now. This is the concrete economic reality of edge AI development happening right today. The massive financial barrier to entry has completely evaporated overnight. The entire tech industry spent the last 2 years illegally obsessing over raw parameter scale. Everyone incorrectly believed that bigger was automatically always better. But true mathematical efficiency always wins in the long economic hardware game. Small language models are highly lean. They are extremely fast. They are completely private and totally secure by strict default. They directly represent the decentralized future of global digital computing. Expect to quickly see highly specialized tiny models embedded seamlessly into everything you own. Your digital car dashboard, your advanced smartwatch, your private home security system monitor. They will run completely seamlessly in the unseen digital background continuously. You will interact with advanced autonomous logic daily without ever hitting a distant cloud server. The age of the massive centralized AI data monopoly is officially and rapidly ending. The brilliant era of personalized, localized intelligence is just getting started. Are you actively testing edge AI models on your local machine yet? Let us critically know which specific SLM you are currently running in the comments below. Subscribe to NeonSync AI right now to stay ahead of the massive silicon curve. Hit the notification bell quickly so you never miss a future tech hardware breakdown. We aggressively cut through the noise. We consistently bring you the pure hardware signal. See you on the absolute cutting edge next time.